Peter, what makes a good story?
Embarrassment, truth. Ask yourself, and you can do it alone in a room, write down on a piece of paper the 10 most horribly embarrassing things, secrets in your life you would never want anyone ever to know. Now, we all have them. You write down 10 of them. You don't ever want to show this to anybody, you don't have to. But those 10 embarrassing personal secrets will fuel almost all the stories you're ever going to tell in your life. Because every story you tell is going to come out of one of those horrible embarrassments, because they are what's wounded you. And they start when you're little. And it's usually our parents who wound us. Sometimes it's a dirty old uncle. You know, sometimes it's a neighbor. But it's usually our parents. So if you can understand what those wounds are, you're going to be able to write 10 compelling characters, all having behaviors that are compensations for that wound. Like I said, one of mine was my mommy didn't love me, but it came out in body dysmorphia. Yeah, that won't be the case for you. The one wound, I'm unlovable, look how it worked for Don Draper. He became Mr. Handsome. Everything he did was seductive, yes? So that's a difference, because everyone's different in how they react to the core wound. So this is the most potent way to tell a great story. And it's about character. You know, Blake Snyder wrote a great book called Saving the Cat, but he didn't talk much about character. And so this lecture I gave yesterday, which was Killing the Cat, is sort of like what else you need to know about story if you want to write a compelling story today. Character is something that it seems like a black box for a lot of writers. So I'm suggesting, what's more interesting about your life than what happened to you? Your secrets. If you can't get interested in your own secrets, you're going to write a boring character. Well, he's got to do this. Or you see sometimes teachers go, well, here's a list of things. Write down a list of character attributes. Oh, they like tea. They like, I don't know, diapers. It seems so arbitrary, right? Who cares? Think about your own wound and what you like, what you avoided, and what you still avoid. And I guarantee you, you're like, geez, can I really say that? I don't want to reveal that about myself. Well, you're going to have a boring story if you don't. And even writers that are very successful who tell me, oh, Peter, I never do any of that crap. You know, I'm completely unanalyzed and I don't need analysis. One page of their script reveals all of that damage, whether they want it to or not. It's right there. It's what they write about.